that don't work with him. You have to trust and believe that he is able. He is an on-time God.
Yes.
It might not be your schedule and your timing, but when you call upon him, have faith and walk away and say, this is what I do. Yes, Lord. Thank you for what you're about to do. Because I don't know when he's going to do it, but I know he's going to do it.
He's going to do it.
Somebody just need to invest their faith tonight and know that God is an on-time God. When you ask, it shall be delivered. Don't be wishy-washy like we say colloquially, because he will show up on his timing. Praise God.
His timing. My God, my God. As Pastor told the lady, as you said that, I look at Hezekiah's life. The Bible said in those days Hezekiah was sick and near unto death. And Isaiah the prophet, the son of Amos, went to him and said unto him, Thus said the Lord, set your house in order, for you shall die and not live. Hezekiah turned his face to the wall and prayed to the Lord. He also bawled to the Lord. He cried, he hollered, because he knew somebody. He said, remember, and he knew that death was imminent, but he had something that he could show God. He had a receipt. He had, sometimes you go to a store and you buy something, and most likely men, some of us, I like to sometimes throw away the receipt, but after as I get older, I stop throwing away the receipt, I put them in a bag. Because you can't exchange it, because it says 7 days, some stores 5 days, some days 3 hours. You can't go back after 2 hours without the receipt. But my point is, if you have a receipt, 2 years later, Bloomingdale's or whatever the store's name, the honorable stores will honor you. You can still walk back in, you have a receipt. Well, Hezekiah had a receipt. The Lord, he had his prayer receipt. He used to pray. He used to live holy. He used to serve. He was in the servitude. And when the pain rocked him and when he looked at the imminent sickness, he might not have been feeling any pain. Because we three here know that if the doctor gets in your head, he can kill you. Because the minute you go to the doctor and the doctor gives you a prognosis, you come home and start to feel what he says. You went to the doctor, fine. And doctor says, you know what I see in my telescope? You have this and you have that. You never thought you had it. You went without it. You were empty, pocket empty, bag empty, clothes empty, blood vessel empty, everything. But all of a sudden, doctor gave you something to carry back home. And you believe it. Come on now, preacher. Because God is he's an on-time God. There you go. So this is where I'm going with this. Hezekiah believed that he had a receipt, having prayed, having stayed, having lived, having loved. He said, God, remember me? Remember when I used to preach a word? People on the line, Sister Paula, you remember when you used to pray? At 4 o'clock in the morning when my father used to wake me up, Minister Erica, do you remember when you cried to God and he heard you? Come on, somebody. You have to have something to show God. You have to say something. Will there be any star in my crown? I can't go empty-handed. I can't leave this world with an unfinished task. My task must be finished, so I have to finish the task so I can get a star. And so I have to believe now that even though the prophet said to me through God, I am going to die. It is an appointment that I have, and mine seemed to have come early, as Hezekiah said. But Hezekiah said, God, but you don't remember when I used to be good? Remember me. Oh, praise the name of the Lord. If somebody has something to tell God to remember, when was the last time you made a sacrifice to God? When was the last time you were sacrificially inclined to impart of yourself? When was the last time you were loving? You saw somebody on the street and they didn't look or smell too good, and you still reached out and gave them a little something. You didn't scorn them, because the Bible tells you about the man by the wayside, the scorners and the scoffers. But there was a good Samaritan. And the good Samaritan said, listen to me, I'm going to pay for his hospital bill, Lady D. I'm going to make sure you dress him up, take care of him. And peradventure, the money that I give you for his treatment is not enough. If you need more, let me know. Because I am the good Samaritan. I may not always be the good Samaritan, but you can be when I fall short. Hello. God has everybody for such a time. Moses had to relinquish his staff so Joshua and Aaron could take up the baton. Hello. We have a season when we do our task. And so While you're here, while you're not taking your last breath, you're still taking some breath. Hello, can we make sure somebody hears that Jesus Christ is a healing Jesus? He can do it for you. He has done it for somebody. He has done it for me. Hello, and so I'm not telling you something I saw on TV. Lady D was not commercial. It was a healing Jesus. Pastor Tola, you know that he's a healing Jesus. You would not be coming so far to talk about Jesus from Ocala when you don't believe him. You have to believe that whatever he says he will do, and he is no man's debtor. So nobody can owe him. He can owe anybody. You can owe him, but he won't owe anything because he don't need credit. He don't need credit. He's God. Anything he wants and whatever he orders, he pays for. Where there's a vision, there's a